Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve class 10 ICSE 2025 chemistry board exam paper. In this video we will cover section A. To begin with section A, it carries 40 marks and you have to attempt all the questions from this section. So let's begin with question number 1. It carries 15 MCQs. So the first question goes like this. Which gas decolorizes potassium permanganate KMnO4 solution? It was a flat question. Some questions I have seen is just flat. You just mark the answer and go if you know it. And the rest, just 1 or 2 lines you have to scribble and then find out the answer. So for the first question, the answer goes, we all know KMnO4 solution decolorizes means you have to think about sulfur dioxide and nothing other than that. So the first answer is sulfur dioxide. Which formula represents saturated hydrocarbon? We all know saturated hydrocarbons have general formula CnH2n plus 2. That is the formula of alkanes. So according to the option CnH2n, so twice of it. So according to the option C5H12, 5 into 2, 10 plus 2. So C5H12 pentane is the answer. B. Next, the metal whose oxide can be reduced by common reducing agents. We all know metals like sodium, aluminium, potassium, they are all active metals, and active metals cannot be reduced by common reducing agents. So you have to think about some metals which are lower to the metal activity series. So the only answer left is copper. MCQ number 4. An organic compound has vapor density of 22. Molecular formula is what they are asking for. We all know vapor density is molecular weight by 2. So from here you know the vapor density is 22. So from that you can find out MW, molecular weight, which is 44. Like for methane, we all know carbon is 12 and hydrogen is 4 into 1, 4. So it's 16. Here comes ethene. Just calculate and see. It's 12 into 2 plus 4. That is again 24 plus 4, 28. Then this comes ethane. Ethane is 12 into 2 plus 6. So 30. And here comes propane. So in case of propane, C3H8, carbon is 12 into 3 plus hydrogen is 1 and there are 8 atoms of hydrogen. So 36 plus 8 comes 44. So propane will be the answer, option number D. Then comes a question from sulfuric acid chapter. In the reaction below, sulfuric acid acts as an. So you have to state the property which sulfuric acid is showing in this reaction. So in this reaction we are seeing sulfuric acid is reacting with a non-metal sulfur. So we all know in this reaction sulfuric acid is in concentrated form, and you all can see sulfur is getting oxidized to sulfur dioxide. So sulfur's oxidation is taking place. So who is doing this oxidation? Who is helping sulfur to get oxidized? Sulfuric acid. So here sulfuric acid concentrated is behaving as an oxidizing agent. So answer goes option C. Next comes another favorite questions of assertion and reason. What does it say? The tendency of losing electron increases down the group. We all know electrons are lost by metals, and as you go down the group, the metallic character increases. So metals loses electrons, so the tendency of losing electrons increases down the group. It's absolutely correct because the metallic character increases down the group as well. So the assertion looks true. What about the reason? They state that the most reactive metal is placed at the top of group 1. We know in group 1, that is in the alkali metal series, down the group the reactivity of the metal increases. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Cesium is the most reactive if I consider till cesium. Down the group the reactivity of metals increases, but here it says that it's not. The most reactive metal is at the top. No, so the reason is wrong. So the answer that goes correct, A is true and R is absolutely false. So next question. The ore that can be concentrated by using magnetic separation. We all know this magnetic separation is specially done for all sorts of iron ores, right? So corundum is aluminium oxide Al2O3, so that doesn't go with magnetic. Hematite is again an ore of iron. Calamine is an ore of zinc, and bauxite is again an ore of aluminium. So iron ore only can be concentrated by magnetic separation. So the answer is hematite. Question number 8 of MCQ. The diagram given below shows bonding in the covalent molecule AB2. So this is A and they are B2. Okay. Which option represent the correct EC of atom A and B before combining together to form the above molecules? So to answer this question, you just calculate, you just count the electrons and you get the EC, right? So A, in the atom A, the first shell you see the 2 electrons, and in the second shell you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the EC of A is 2, 6. So just find 2, 6 is over here. Let's check B also. So for B, let's see the EC. First shell 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons, third shell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 electrons. So the EC goes 287. So 287. So option number D. Next. Which of the following options has all the compounds which are the members of the same homologous series? So again from organic and from homologous series. So we know homologous series means the compounds belonging to the same group consisting of the same general formula. So let's check. Okay, this is methane, ethane, and this is propane. So they are all belonging from the alkene series having general formula CnH2n plus 2. Option number A goes the correct answer. Question number 10 of MCQ. In the contact process, SO2-SO3 gas is not directly dissolved in water to obtain sulfuric acid. Absolutely correct. And the reason they state is that dense fog or misty droplets of sulfuric acid are formed, which is difficult to condense. Yes, we all know that SO3 gas cannot be directly dissolved into water to form sulfuric acid, though it looks easy that SO3 plus water gives H2SO4. But in reality that is not done because they doesn't mix, they doesn't produce a homogeneous mixture. So that reason we have to go through the pyrosulfuric acid step as well. So assertion is true and the reason is absolutely true. So A and R are true. R is the correct explanation. So answer goes option number A. Next, given below are 4 ions. Identify the pair of ions which have the same EC. Okay, so for chlorine, we know chlorine EC is 287, but here it is chloride ion, Cl minus. So the EC goes 288. For lithium EC is 21 and this is lithium ion. So the EC goes just 2. For aluminium ion, the 3 electrons in the last shell is absent, so the EC goes to 8. And for potassium, it is 2881, but here it is potassium ion, so the EC goes 288. So which pair of ions have same EC? You just check it out. 288, 288, so Cl minus and K plus. So the answer goes option number C. Which pair of reactants can be best used to produce lead 2 sulfate? Lead plus sulfuric acid. We all know that lead is above hydrogen in the metal activity series. So this can be displaced, like lead can displace hydrogen, but this reaction is not a better choice because they are given here the best method you have to find out. And in the hydrogen chapter in class 9, you have already studied that in this reaction doesn't give fruitful product. PbSO4 is formed, which is a white PPT. It sticks to the glass and it's a problem. So this method is not the correct method. Lead hydroxide plus sulfuric acid. Lead hydroxide is again a chalky white PPT. An insoluble thing hardly reacts with an acid. Then another one, sodium sulfate plus lead nitrate. And yes, this reaction do take place. To also know the last option, let's see, potassium sulfate plus lead oxide. Lead oxide is again insoluble, so it doesn't react well. So the best answer will be option number C. Aqueous copper sulfate is electrolyzed using copper electrode. We know that copper sulfate electrolysis, there are two types. One is the normal one using inert electrodes, and the other one is copper electrode. So here they are giving the second one, the copper electrode one. Which statement about the electrolysis is incorrect? Not correct. Okay. So an oxidation reaction occurs at the positive electrode. We all know positive electrode is the anode, and in anode oxidation takes place. So this is a correct statement. The current is carried through the electrolyte by ions. Yes, electrolysis is taking place, so ions will be only transferring the amount of current flowing in the medium. So this is absolutely correct. The positive electrode loses its mass. Positive electrode again here indicates the anode. So let's see what the anode reaction looks like. In anode, oxidation takes place, so copper will lose its two electrons to form copper ions. So the copper is losing its mass as well. So anode is getting thinner and thinner and finally needs to be replaced. Let's see the next option. The number of copper ions in the electrolyte decreases. So to answer that, let's also check out the cathode reaction. And we know in cathode reaction, reduction takes place, right? So the copper ions gets reduced by gaining the two electrons, and copper, the reddish brown deposit of copper, is being deposited at the cathode. So the option says the number of copper ions in the electrolyte decreases. That is absolutely wrong. Copper ions are getting reduced, but here copper ions are again being produced as well. So this will be the answer. Option number D. Next. X, Y, Z are the three metallic atoms in successive order belonging to the same group, such that atomic radii X is the smallest. We all know in a group the atomic radius increases. So X is the smallest one. X is at the top, then comes Y, and then comes Z, because here they are saying they are in successive order. Which of the three atoms is the best reducing agent? So according to it, reducing agents are metals, and metallic character down the group increases. So the best metal is Z, and the best reducing agent is as well as Z, because metals are only the reducing agents. Next comes again a question from Mole. 40 cc of methane is reacting with 60 cc of oxygen. They give a balanced equation here. All volumes are measured at room temperature. What is the total volume of gases remaining at the end of the reaction? So MCQ question number 15 is from Gay-Lussac's law, where you can see all the gases are combining here. 40 cc of methane is reacting with 60 cc of oxygen. That one volume of methane is reacting with 2 volume of oxygen. So this is 1 volume and this is 2 volume according to the Gay-Lussac's law, and here again 1 volume of carbon dioxide is getting formed. Water is not considered here because in Gay-Lussac's law they only deal with gases. So come to here, methane, 1 volume of methane reacts with 2 volume of oxygen, and in the question it's given 40 cc of methane. So just think 40 cc and here it is 60 cc. So let's use some common sense. 1 volume reacts with 2 volume. So 40 cc will react with 80 cc, double of that. But is 80 cc here available? No. So you all know what limiting reagent is. So here oxygen is the limiting reagent. It is getting finished. So you have to think it the other way. So you have to write according to Gay-Lussac's law, 2 volume of oxygen is reacting with 1 volume of methane. So let's start. 2 volume of oxygen reacts with, just write in language, 1 volume of methane. 60 cc of oxygen reacts with, just do normal unitary method and you come to the answer 30 cc of methane is being used. I have to know the remaining methane. How much of methane is left over? So methane there was initially 40 cc and already 30 cc is used up. So how much is left? 10 cc methane is remaining. 2 volume of oxygen forms 1 volume of CO2. So in question there was 60 cc of oxygen. It will react to form 30 cc of CO2. So how much CO2 is getting formed? 30 cc. And how much of methane left over? 10 cc. What is the total volume of gases remaining at the end of the reaction? So methane 10 cc and CO2 30 cc. So total 40 cc will be the answer. So now let's start with question number 2 from section A. A student was instructed by teacher to prepare and collect ammonia gas in lab by using aluminium nitride. The student had set up the apparatus as shown in the diagram. Study the diagram and answer the following question. So here is the diagram. Aluminium nitride is taken here and down by the thistle funnel X is being poured and metallic nitride is reacted with warm water. Okay, so name the substance X that is added. So over here X is warm water. Okay, X, write this way, X hyphen warm water. Write balanced equation for the reaction occurring between aluminium nitride and substance X. Aluminium nitride and warm water, you get aluminium hydroxide along with ammonia gases evolved. Balance it and it's done. The next question is identify the substance Y. Over here the ammonia gas that is formed is passed through another chamber where Y is there. So Y here is a drying agent. So Y here is calcium oxide, quicklime. State the function of Y and Y is a drying agent. Why could the student not collect ammonia gas at the end of the experiment? Okay, so the ammonia gas is passed through the drying agent, it is dried and it's again collected over water. We all know ammonia gas is highly soluble in water. So you cannot collect ammonia gas at the end because it gets dissolved in water. Next, question number 2. State the terms. So name the following. Undistilled alcohol containing a large amount of methanol. So this is from the chapter organic, the alcohol part, and the answer is spurious alcohol. A salt formed by partial replacement of hydroxyl group. Okay, partial replacement, that too by hydroxyl group. So this has to be a basic salt. Organic compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula. So this is isomers. Tendency of an atom to attract shared pair of electrons, we all know it's electronegativity. The type of covalent bond are two types, right? Polar covalent and non-polar covalent. In non-polar covalent, equal sharing takes place, but here it is unequal. So it has to be polar covalent bond will be the answer. Next, fill in the blanks are there with options as well. So the first question goes like this. Dash solution forms a colored precipitate with ammonium hydroxide which is soluble in excess. So colored precipitate, both ferrous and copper forms colored precipitate, but they say soluble in excess. Ferrous doesn't give solubility in excess, but copper gives, we all know, the inky blue solution. So copper nitrate will be the answer. Next, zinc blend, that is ZnS, is converted to ZnO. The ZnS plus O2 gives ZnO plus SO2. So here oxygen is getting added. So this is not calcination but roasting, because we know calcination takes place in absence of air or oxygen, but roasting takes place in presence of air or oxygen. Dash conducts electricity by movement of ions. See, so in metal, due to lack of ions, they don't conduct electricity. So it has to be sodium chloride, which is a very good electrolyte, and that too in molten state. So the answer goes molten sodium chloride. Next, the reaction that takes place at anode during electrolysis of aqueous sodium argentocyanide with silver electrode. So at anode, and we all know anode gives oxidation reaction, right? In this reaction we see that electron is getting added, so here it is getting reduced, but in this case this electron in this side, when it comes, it gives Ag minus of electrons, so it is getting oxidized. So the answer is the first equation. Next, the salt formed when ZnO reacts with hot concentrated NaOH. So ZnO plus NaOH, this reaction is coming from the chapter analytical. You get sodium zincate. plus water. So sodium zincate will be the answer. Next, match the following. So the first one is a Haber's process. We knew that's a reversible reaction and ammonia is getting formed, and in Haber's process, which is the catalyst here, iron. Next, so this is the catalytic oxidation of ammonia. Catalytic, so catalyst is here, so this is platinum catalyst. We all know platinum, and at a temperature 800 degrees Celsius this reaction takes place. So this goes with platinum answer. So A, the answer goes 3, B answer goes 5. Next, this reaction you see in contact process, sulfuric acid preparation, where SO3 is produced from SO2, and here the catalyst used is vanadium pentaoxide. So it's option number 1. So this is ethene plus hydrogen gives ethane. It is catalytic hydrogenation which takes place in presence of catalysts like nickel, platinum, palladium. So platinum is already taken by the other one, so nickel is left out. So nickel will be the answer. Here you can see the blue vitriol is losing its water of crystallization. The agent that is used, a dehydrating agent, which is concentrated sulfuric acid. So the last question of section A. So draw the structural diagram. 2-methyl propene. Prop, so 3 carbon. Propene, so the double bond is in the first position, and if you number the carbon 1, 2, so then the second position you find 2-methyl. So a methyl group down here. So this is 2-methyl propene. Next question, butanal. So for but, 4 carbon, and there is an aldehyde group in the first position. So if I calculate it from here, so here will be my aldehyde, CHO. So this is butanal. So this is question 5B, the IUPAC names. Okay, so in the long chain there are 2 carbons, and in the first position, first carbon, there are 2 chlorine, and even in the second carbon there are again 2 chlorines. So you have to mention the position of chlorine, that's the substitutional groups. So in one position there is a chlorine, so another chlorine. In second position there is another chlorine, and again a chlorine in the second position. So 1, 1, 2, 2, there are 4 chlorines altogether, so it will be tetrachloro, and there are 2 carbons in the long chain, right? So tetrachloro, eth, and all are single bonds, so ethane. Next comes this diagram where you see there are 4 carbons in the long chain. So for 4 carbons you have to write but, and all are single bonded, so butan. And if I name it from this side, because here is the carboxylic acid group, so number 1, so in one position carboxylic acid is there, so butan 1 oic acid. You can write 1, you can omit 1, writing butanoic acid together. Both goes correct. This is the third and the last IUPAC naming. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon in the long chain. So it's pent. 1, 2. Second position there is a double bond. So pent 2. And there is for the double bond you have to write in. So the answer goes pent 2 in. So this much is section A. Hope the solution helps you. Do let me know in the comment section how much you will score out of 40 in section A. Thank you.